For 30 years, the Xerian Empire had ruled enormous sectors of the galaxy, crushing rebellions with an iron fist. Their warriors towered above humans, scaled skin like armor, claws like knives, strength enough to tear metal plates. Against them stood Earth, fragile, bruised, but unbroken, and among its weary soldiers was one man, Sergeant Ethan Cross, a medic who had seen enough blood to drown memories. He never imagined the day he'd hold the life of the Xerian Empire's future in his arms. The battlefield, the battle for the moon of Valoria, was supposed to be a minor skirmish. Push a Xerian scouting force back. Hold a ridge, survive. Instead, it became chaos. Human forces were ambushed. The air cracked with sonic weapon fire. Ground troops scrambled for cover. Ethan stayed behind to drag the wounded toward the evacuation craft. "Move it, Cross," Captain Ramirez yelled. "That's an order!" But Ethan saw someone, not human, lying in a crater of shattered blue crystal, a Xerian. Young, bleeding from a deep plasma wound. Her breathing was frantic, desperate, even if she was the enemy. She was just a kid. Ethan's legs moved before his fear could stop him. He slid into the crater, scanning the alien's wounds. Purple blood streamed from her side. Her scaled skin flickered, nanofibers failing to heal. Hey, stay with me," Ethan whispered, voice trembling. "I've got you." Her eyes, slit-pupilled and glowing green, widened in shock. "You." "Why?" she gasped in halting English. "Because I'm the medic," he said. "That's why." He pressed a sealant patch against the gash. The wound sparked, then closed partially, but not enough. She winced, trembling. "Don't move. If you move, you'll reopen it. You should leave me," she coughed. "My people will come." "Then let them come," Ethan muttered, lifting her gently. "You're going to live, kid," the dangerous choice human soldiers shouted behind him, withdrawing, escaping. Distant artillery boomed. Ethan kept carrying her. Laser fire scorched the ground near his boots. He ducked, shielding her with his body as explosions shook the ridge. "You're insane," she whispered. "Probably." When they reached the extraction point, soldiers aimed weapons at them. "Drop the alien," a Marine shouted. "She bleeds out if I do." Ethan barked. "She's wounded and unarmed." "That thing is a Xerian princess," Ramirez yelled from the ramp. "A hostage like that means bargaining power." Ethan shook his head violently. "She's a child." Ramirez stared at him for a long moment. Smoke and terror painted the scene. Then, more plasma blasts. They didn't have time to argue. "Damn it, Cross, get on!" But Ethan looked up and saw shadows descending, Xerian dropships. He stood his ground. "You go," Ethan said softly to Ramirez. "I can't run with her." "They'll fire on us all." Ramirez's jaw clenched. "Cross, don't do this." "I'm a medic," Ethan repeated. "I save lives. Doesn't matter whose." Then he turned away from the humans and toward the landing Xerian forces. Queen arrives. When the Xerian ships hit the ground, the air hummed. Elite guards emerged, towering, armored in obsidian plates. Then she came, the Xerian Queen, ruler of the Empire, her presence alone enough to silence a battlefield. Silver scales shimmered under a black crest crown. Her eyes burned like twin emerald suns. She saw Ethan, a human, clutching her wounded daughter. Weapons raised. Ethan didn't flinch. "Don't shoot," he shouted, voice cracking with raw fear. "She needs medical attention." One guard stepped forward, voice dripping venom. "Release the princess immediately, human, or we carve out your—" "Silence," the Queen ordered. Her gaze drilled into Ethan's soul. Every instinct in him screamed to run. Instead, he tightened his grip protectively around the girl. "Please," he whispered. "Let me help her." The Queen froze. Never in her life, never in her entire reign, had she seen a human protect a Xerian child from danger. Her daughter stirred weakly in Ethan's arms. "Mother." That single word shattered the ice between species. The Queen lowered her weapon. "What have you done for her?" she asked, voice trembling. A battlefield goddess suddenly just a terrified mother. "She was dying," Ethan said. "I stabilized her. But her internal organs—" "She needs real care, fast." His arms were shaking, not from fear, but from desperate determination. The Queen stared, unable to comprehend. "A human saved my child," she whispered. "No," Ethan replied quietly. "A medic did," trusting the enemy. The Queen signaled a medic unit forward, but the princess clung weakly to Ethan's uniform. No. Stay, she begged. Safe. The guards looked like they might attack Ethan for the contact, but the Queen raised a hand again. Let him come, she commanded. Ethan followed the alien. Squad aboard a Xerian ship, humanity's greatest enemy, the hatch ceiling. Behind him, no way back now, the healing chambers inside the vessel. Technology beyond anything Earth possessed, word to life. Nanite tubes, regenerative biomass, floating holo displays. Ethan placed the princess gently into a medical pod. He removed his gloves, hands stained purple. The Queen stood inches away, close enough that he felt her radiating power. My daughter's name is Alyara, she said slowly. You spoke to her. You carried her. You risked everything. For her, Ethan's breath shook. She didn't choose this war. The Queen's throat tightened. Neither did I, she confessed. A wound deeper than plasma cuts. They watched silently as Alyara's vitals stabilized, strength returning to her fingers. When her eyes opened, the first thing she saw wasn't her mother. It was Ethan. Thank you, she whispered. He smiled, exhausted, bruised but proud. The turning point of a war, the Queen dismissed the guards, leaving her alone with Ethan. You have changed something today, she said, voice softer than starlight. Our empire teaches that humans are weak, cruel, greedy. And what do you think? Ethan asked. You risked your life for someone not your own. That is not weakness. Silence, thick with unspoken possibility. What happens to me now? Ethan finally asked. A prisoner? She mused. A hostage? A hero? I do not know. Then she leaned closer, her crown shimmering. But I do know this. Today you saved more than my child. You saved a bridge between our kinds. The door opened. Alyara, still injured, walked unsteadily toward them. She reached for Ethan's hand. Come. Visit me, she murmured. When I am healed. Ethan chuckled softly. If your mother allows it. The Queen smiled, truly smiled. For the first time since war began. She will. And perhaps she will ask him for advice. Ethan raised an eyebrow. Advice? On peace, the Queen said. If humans can show such courage, perhaps we have misjudged you. A New Hope Ethan was escorted to a guest chamber, not a cell. His weapon was returned to him. Food, water, and medical care provided. No chains. A symbol. The galaxy would hear of this. One human medic changed the heart of an empire. Weeks later, when Earth's commanders demanded his return, the Xerian Queen herself opened communications, with her daughter beside her, Alyara, smiling. She spoke the words broadcast across star systems. This human saved me. No more blood between us. We choose peace. Ethan Cross wasn't a warrior, wasn't a diplomat, wasn't a legend. He was just a medic who refused to let a child die. He became the reason millions lived. Ending as Ethan prepared to step into a peace summit, humans and Xerians watching together. Alyara leaned close and whispered, Ethan, I will never forget the day you held me safe. He felt warmth spread through his chest, a bond deeper than war. Neither will I, Princess. She grinned mischievously. Just Alyara. To the one who saved me, formal titles are silly. Ethan laughed, a sound hopeful enough to heal galaxies, and for the first time in decades, the stars didn't feel so cold.